Sportsnet. Presented by Honda at the Model Clearout event. It's the best time to team up with a Honda you'll love.
Welcome to Toronto. The roof was closed until about 6:39 when they cranked her open. It's a beautiful night and a cool night here. Kevin Cash, they had a heartbreaking loss last night as the Blue Jays scored 7 runs in the bottom of the ninth to win it 9-8. But you got another game today. Tampa Bay's had a good season, 85-67. They're third in the American League East. Joey Wendell's had a good year this season at Rogers Center. He's at .333 with 4 doubles and 6 RBIs. He's back at second base tonight. And Willie Adames, he had a pinch hit RBI single in the game last night. That extended his hit streak to 6 straight games. He's hit .350 during those 6 games.
They will face Sean Reed-Foley as Sean makes his 6th Major League start tonight and his first start against the Tampa Bay Rays. Last time out on the 15th, 5 very good innings against the Yankees. He ran into some trouble. John Gibbons came out there to talk to him and said, hey, you got to figure out how you get out of this. He did. He ended up throwing 5 innings, had 10 strikeouts, his first career score to start. That was against the Yankees. 5-0 when he left. So Sean Reed-Foley will face the Rays for the first time.
Crew Chief Jeff Nelson back behind the plate went over to say something to Kevin Cash to start this game. Malik Smith, the leadoff hitter. He had a single last night game, picked up a couple of stolen bases. Carlos Gomez was very critical of the home plate umpire last night after being called out on strikes by Andy Fletcher. But he is not in the starting lineup as Reed-Foley delivers the first pitch, strike to Malik Smith.
Got to keep him off the bases. 35 stolen bases this year. He's only hit .213 in his career here at Rogers Center. So they have done a good job against him here at home.
You can see it's a breezy evening here with the roof open and fly balls couldn't be an adventure. It was closed throughout batting practice. So the outfitters don't really have anything to go on. Everything they caught was without this wind, and it is really whipping around here in the dome.
And the outfield very shallow against Malik Smith, especially in left field and in center field. They're playing him the other way.
Fly ball left field. Teoscar Hernandez makes the catch in fair territory. Good thing he was shallow. He was able to make that play. 1 down for Reed-Foley. Teoscar is in left field. Randall Grichuk's in center, and Billy McKinney is in right. No Kevin Pillar tonight.
Yeah, Randall will be the captain out there. Start number 25 in center field this season for him. He's had a great year defensively for the Blue Jays. 116 games, 1 error and 5 assists. Tonight he gets center field. He's done a good job this year defensively.
Really interesting. The only error was a routine fly ball that he just missed. This is Matt Duffy. He takes 1 down and away for ball 1. Duffy had a couple of hits in the game last night and scored 2 runs. He too had a stolen base as Tampa Bay tied their season high with 4 stolen bases. Sean Reed-Foley, we mentioned his strikeouts in the opening. 32 strikeouts in 26 innings coming into this game, including 2 10-strikeout games. Slider off the end of the bat. Reed-Foley pulled his glove back. Pretty instinctive play by the young pitcher. Had a chance to go after it, but recognized Evan Travis. It was going to be a routine ground ball for the second baseman.
Yeah, recognized that he was not going to get that one, and it wasn't hit that hard, so Devin Travis is going to make that play. Watch him. It's a slider down and away. He reaches for it. He said, I better let it go. It's right at my second baseman.
2 quick outs for Reed-Foley. Devin Travis back in the lineup at second base tonight. Says G-Man Choi. Choi took an 0 for last night, but he had a big walk in the 6th inning, had a leadoff walk and came around to score the go-ahead run for Tampa Bay. That made it a 3-2 game. And Tampa Bay added 5 in the 7th. Looked like the game was over. Really interesting, as you all know, the Rays use an opener instead of a starter, and that's why Diego Castillo is still throwing down in the bullpen. He wants to come into the game as if we were relieving.
Which he has done a lot of this year. He's also been an opener a few times, but it's an interesting thing as he warms up. Probably just go to throw 1 inning, maybe 2.
Fouled off the glove of McGuire. In New York, Reed Foley was throwing to Danny Jansen when he racked up 10 strikeouts in 5 innings, but of course McGuire and Foley have worked before. One and two outs. On the ground, past Tellez, past to Travis into right field. The bouncing ball sneaks through. A 2-out single for Choi.
Yeah, that ball looked like it gained speed once it hit the dirt. And Rowdy went after that ball. It's a changeup, and he tops it, gets over it, and gets some top spin on it. Watch it hit the dirt, and then boom, just take off on Tellez. And I think that messed up Devin Travis also. Tellez normally a pretty good fielder. It looked like he had a shot at catching that one. So did Devin.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it had a little extra spin on it and really snuck by both of them. Here's Tommy Pham. Pham's the left fielder. Last Diaz down at first said no swing, so it's 1-0 on Pham. Pham had a big night with the bat last night, a 3-hit night. Had an RBI triple in the 4th, a couple of singles, including an RBI single in the 7th.
All right, he's got his game face on again tonight. Tommy Pham, he's ready to go after it. Tunnel vision. Get right after it.
Pham has hit .339 since joining the Rays. There's a good slider out on the corner. Sean Reed Foley really working quickly here. He struck out the side in the 1st in his last start at New York against the Yankees.
That was just like his start down at Miami when he had 10 punch-outs against the Marlins. Struck out the side, and he was just burying that fastball.
Look at where all those pitches are, down and away. He zeroed in on that outside corner right down. Take it off the plate. Start that slider and take it off the plate. 2-2. Overthrew that a little too hard.
Yeah, overthrew that one.
Joey Wendell is on deck. He's in the 5th spot tonight. There goes the runner, ball 4. So a 2-out single and a 2-out walk, 1st and 2nd, 2 away. And we talk about the 10 strikeout games on the 1st of September down in Miami against the Marlins. 1 walk, 10 strikeouts, and over 5 innings he was wicked with the strikeouts.
He was pouring that fastball in both of those games, especially that Marlins game. He was overpowering the Marlins hitters for those 7 innings, just a walk. It's the base on balls where he gets a little off track just a little bit. In those 5 innings against the Yankees, he needed all 10 of those strikeouts because he walked 4.
Looked like a pretty good pitch. He didn't get the call. This is Joey Wendell back at second base tonight. Wendell batting .303 in his rookie season. 7 homers, 55 RBIs. He has 138 hits. He's had quite a year.
Yeah, and you got to watch him in these situations right here. Runners in scoring position. He has a knack of picking up those runners.
There's the numbers you were talking about. .270 average, 46 ribbies. He's got Choi at second, Tommy Pham at first.
Put the ball in play. That's what you have to do. He's done a good job this year hitting the fastball. And Sean Reed Foley likes to use his fastball.
Changeup, he pulled it inside. It's 2 balls and a strike.
I'm sure they look at those numbers also. Wendell's hitting .321 against fastballs this season.
Tampa threatening here in the top half of the 1st. Pull that one inside. It's 3-1 now. Kevin Kiermaier, the center fielder. He's in the hole. Willie Adames is on deck. 2 outs. Good fastball. He fouled it into the mitt. Now it's a full count. The runners will be moving on the pitch.
Figure out what you want to do here. The runners are going to be taking off. You just can't throw a BP fastball in there. Figure out what you want to do and concentrate on making that pitch now. 3-2.
Choi from second, Pham from first. They'll be running. There they go. Ground ball. Tellez has it go off his glove down the right field line. Choi is in to score. Here comes Tommy Pham, and there'll be no throw to the plate. The ball got past Tellez, and the Rays have taken a 2-0 lead.
Two very quick outs here in the first inning. Looked like they were going to get out of it with no damage. Then a 3-2 base hit, 3-2 walk. And Tommy Pham at first base. Here's going to be the error. Again, the ball that didn't come up had some top spin on it. It really took him off. But watch Pham at first base. Not taking anything for granted. He is halfway to second base when that ball is hit by Wendell, and that helps him to score on that error. Ground ball to the first baseman, he can score from first base. Don't take anything for granted. Good base running from Tommy Pham.
First air charge to Rowdy Tellez, and it's a big one. It comes with 2 outs and leads to 2 Tampa Bay runs. Tommy Pham hustling all around the bases. Ball didn't get that far down the right field line, and he scores from first base. Now Willie Adames. And Adames came in as a pinch hitter in a game last night. Had an RBI single against Jake Petrichka. He finished up 1 for 3 in the ball game. There's a slider. Well, Tampa Bay doesn't seem to have any hangover effects from that tough loss last night. They've scored 2 runs here in the first, all with 2 outs.
A little help from the Blue Jays. What a punch to the gut that was yesterday when they were trying to win and get into the playoffs. They lost a full game to the Oakland A's yesterday. Now it's going to be tough for them.
Reed Foley just off with his control. That last pitch was his 26th pitch of the inning. He had 2 quick outs, as Pat mentioned. Got Malik Smith and Matt Duffy, and then the bouncing ball snuck through right field off the bat of G-Man Joy. Now it's 3-1. Mentioned how quickly he was working. Now it looks like he's rushing to me.
Yeah, the lower half is just rushing just a little bit too quick. Trying to finish off this inning. This is where you take a deep breath, slow things down. That is going to be the second walk of the inning. It'll probably be, bring Pete Walker out.
So 2 runs have come in here in the first inning. Reed Foley has struggled. 14 balls, 14 strikes, 28 pitches in the inning. And he's got some words for his catcher. Pete Walker's going to have some words for both the catcher and the pitcher. And I love this about Reed Foley. When either the manager or the pitching coach comes out to talk to him, look at it. He is locked in, listening to every word.
Look at the eyes, eye contact. Sometimes you see pitchers looking around or checking out something else. He is locked in, trying to get some information from his pitching coach.
He's out there to help you out.
Pick up your defense right here. Take him yourself.
So Joey Wendell, he reached on the air by Tellez. He's at second. Willie Adames is at first. This is Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier was 0 for 2 in the game with a couple of walks last night. Goes after the first pitch. Why not? The guy ahead of you walked. The pitching coach went to the mound, and you anticipate getting a fastball.
I wonder what the percentages are.
Pretty high,
I bet you it's like 95% of the time you're going to get a fastball first pitch after that scenario you just painted.
Taylor Guerrero, the former Ray, loosening up early. Reed Foley ahead of Kiermaier, 0-2. Well, he got jammed with that one. They wanted it upstairs, and that ball really ate up Kiermaier. Boy, if he could throw that hard slider now out of the zone, down in the dirt, he might get him to chase.
Get him to swing at it. Just get it close. Runner at second base, so they're going to go through a whole set of signs.
Went back to the fastball and gets the strikeout. First strikeout of the ball game. But the Tampa Bay Rays break out on top. They score 2 runs on 1 hit, couple of walks, and an error. 2-0 Rays. He will lead things off for the Blue Jays. Rowdy Tellez charged with the air. A couple ground balls that could have been caught would have changed the entire inning for Sean Reed-Foley. But he ended up throwing 32 pitches in the first. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Blue Jays. Rowdy Tellez at first base. This season so far against right-handed pitching, he's worn them out. 14 for 30 with 8 doubles, 2 home runs, and 9 RBIs. He had an RBI double in the game last night. Devin Travis, he grew up in Florida. He likes hitting against the Rays. He got a 4-game hit streak against Tampa Bay, batting .438 during those 4 games.
Blue Jays had a dramatic win in last night's game. Today they get Diego Castillo. 40 games this year, but just 51 2/3 innings because he's been one of those openers. He's also pitched out of the bullpen. His career high and season high in innings pitched was right here against the Blue Jays, just 2 2/3 innings. He is a max effort guy, and he's got a big arm. Average fastball velocity is 95.5, and he's also touched 100 miles an hour. It's fastball slider, mostly from Castillo.
Get it ready. He is going to come at you. As they used to say, go as hard as you can, as long as you can, and we'll get you in the 3rd.
And that could be, that could be 1 inning. That could be 2 innings.
Ball 1 to Billy McKinney. McKinney batting .278. He recently snapped an 0 for 20 in Baltimore. Got off to a great start with the Blue Jays. He'd went over 300 in his first 23 games. 98 with some nasty movement.
Yeah, that's his 2nd pitch of the game. He's not even loose yet.
He's 24 years old. He is from the Dominican Republic. This is his first season in the big leagues. Signed as an amateur free agent in 2014. You mentioned it, and we talked about it earlier today. The Rays have done a great job in the international market, signing international free agents. A lot of young position players, a lot of good arms.
Alvarado, that's a big arm out in the bullpen. Castillo.
Three and one now.
Comes into this game a pretty hot pitcher also. He's retired 18 of the last 19 batters that he has faced. He's young too.
Fastball foul out of play. 99 with the heater. Well, Castillo, he's the opener, but behind him, Jalen Beeks, who has been a starting pitcher in the past, he's starting to loosen up. He will take more warm-up pitches than a regular reliever, so that's why he started here before there's even an out recorded. Could you imagine if Jack Morris went to the mound and turned around and saw somebody throwing in the first inning? He might have walked off the mound.
He'd be glaring at this manager right there like that.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Because I know I'm better than anybody else you can bring in here.
And Kevin Cash always says that it's been an adjustment for the players as well. And he is pleased with the way they have accepted it. Foul tip off the mitt of Nick Chufo.
That is a slider right there. It says 91. He has one of the hardest sliders in all of baseball in terms of miles per hour. The velocity, he averages about 89 miles an hour on his slider.
Charlie Montoyo sitting with Kevin Cash. He's the bench coach.
Looks like he's going to go back to it, the slider.
3-2 pitch. Another slider. That one backed up. An effective pitch. One away on the strikeout. That'll bring Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Boy, he had a dramatic swing of the bat last night in the ninth.
I asked him today, breaking ball. He says, oh yeah, slider that just stayed over the middle of the plate. And he had a good swing at it. The best thing about that, you love that. I also like to see the enthusiasm that we saw from him. Circling the base. That was a big hit. And then, of course, the home run by Smoke. He was the guy leading the cheers.
Jamie Schultz gave up that home run to Gurriel. Check that. Sergio Romo did.
That's right.
Jamie Schultz started the inning, and he was charged with 4 of the runs. Romo gave up the back-to-back home runs to Gurriel and Smoke. 284 for the season for Gurriel.
You know, that's why I think he's going to be a good hitter. You pitch him away, he can hit the ball the other way with authority. You make a mistake on the inner part of the plate, or you hang a breaking ball like that, he can knock it out of the ballpark. He's still learning as a hitter. He's still growing as a baseball player. I think his ceiling is still a lot higher.
Fastball drilled to center field. This ball is gone. Home run for Gurriel. He's hit back-to-back home runs going back to last night. That was a bullet.
Hey, another guy joins the double digits in the home runs for the Blue Jays. Lourdes Gurriel. Last night he hit that breaking ball that stayed on the inner part of the half, and I was just talking about what good hitters can do. You can hit all types of different pitches, and you hit it anywhere in the ballpark. How about turning around a fastball?
Good fastball from Castillo, and it ended up in the seats in center. There's a shot, but right into the shift. That is Adames, the shortstop. He makes the play. Morales is retired.
When you've got a guy throwing as hard as Castillo, make sure you get it out there and catch it out in front. That's exactly what he does. Castillo's going to supply the power. You just make sure you're on time. This pitch was around triple digits, and he turns it around for the home run. So it's one thing to hit a hanging breaking ball about 85 miles an hour. It's another thing to turn around 100.
Mander Grichuk takes ball 1. There's a 100-mile-an-hour fastball off the catcher's mitt. Grichuk had a double in the game last night. He was 1 for 3. For Grichuk, that was his 29th double of the season. He doubled in the second, and then right behind him, Rowdy Tellez hit a 2-run home run. That was against the opener, Ryan Stanek. Slider, that's a fair ball, backhanded by Duffy. Makes a nice play. That'll end the inning. But the Blue Jays get a run back, and it didn't take long. Second hitter in the lineup, Lourdes Gurriel squares up a fastball from Castillo and hits it deep to center field. It's a 2-1 ball game, his 10th of the season.
here and playing and not on the disabled list makes it mission accomplished for him this year, considering that one of his main goals for 2018 was to finish the year healthy. And it's pretty remarkable considering just how close Travis twice thought his career may be in jeopardy. Travis revealed to me this week that in the winter of 2016, before and after shoulder surgery, he couldn't lift his left arm to even grab something out of a cupboard. There were times after the procedure on his knee that walking up the stairs felt impossible. So while in some ways Travis is disappointed with his productions and his numbers for this season, that he can now have an entire winter to work on baseball and not just rehab gives him relief, and more than anything, peace of mind that he can go a full season without it being derailed because of injury. Guys?
That's always a good feeling when you can complete a full season, knowing you're ready to play, get rested, and get back into the workout and get ready for baseball, not get ready for the rehab. This is Jake Bowers as Reed Foley falls behind 3-0.
You know, we had a chance to talk to Sean in Baltimore, and I was asking about his last game, about what were you trying to do here, what were you trying to do there against this hitter. Because you know what, quite frankly, I'm just trying to get it in the strike zone. Just throw it as hard as I can, and throw it in the box, he called it. Throw it in the strike zone. So right now, he's not a polished pitcher by any means, but I'll tell you what, he's got a lot of tools to work with.
Yeah, he's got great stuff, and he is certainly learning. He threw 32 pitches in the first inning tonight. He threw 92 pitches in 5 innings in New York. And he loses the leadoff man here in the second. That's his 3rd walk of the ball game already.
Yeah, and he's upset with himself. It looked like he tried to guide that one in there instead of throwing it in there. Basically, it's fastball slider right now in his young career. Throws at about 94 miles an hour, the fastball 60% of the time. There's the slider. A changeup a little bit there, and a curveball. He will show the curveball, but right now the slider is better. So for an off-speed pitch, that's the one he's going to go to.
The number 9 hitter is the catcher, Nick Schufo. Bowers at first base. And now, Jeff Nelson, the home plate umpire, is not giving Reed Foley much of a strike zone. That looked like a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, that's where you want to live, right there. Keep it down. Looked like he got it on the corner.
Two and 0. It's a frustrating time for a young pitcher, knowing your stuff really plays when you throw it in the strike zone, and he can't get it in that strike zone consistently yet.
Don't rush it. It's better now to just try easy instead of trying to muscle your way through.
Tried the changeup and bounced that in there. Now it's 3-0. We're going to see some growing pains from these young pitchers, even though they've gotten off to a decent start in their big league career. There are a lot of adjustments ahead for them. There's a strike. Now it's 3-1. Reed Foley is making his 6th big league start, and he's just 23 years old. He turned 23 on August 30th. He's just barely 23. Base hit to left field over Solarte into left. Hernandez plays it back in, first and second, nobody out.
Every level that Sean has moved up in his minor league career, there's been adjustments and growing pains as he gets used to a different level. Went up to AA, struggled there, went back there this year and really dominated before he went to AAA. Had some tough outings there, and I'm sure you'll see some of that here at the major league level. Schufo shoots that ball the other way. First 2 reach here in the second.
2017, Sean Reed Foley was 10-11 in AA. His ERA was over 5. So the Blue Jays did the right thing, and they sent him back to AA to start this season. Now, see, that's a pretty good pitch, but because he's been all over the place, he's not going to get those borderline pitches.
Umpire's not going to give you, if you're a young pitcher and you show that you haven't mastered the strike zone just yet, they are not going to give you that borderline strike.
Ground ball. Travis flips to Gurriel. Back to first. Double play. That'll make you feel better. Through the strike to Malik Smith and double up a pretty speedy runner.
Yeah, that might be the only way you can turn a double play against Malik Smith. A ground ball to the second baseman where it takes him to second base. He flips it, and in one motion, boom, boom, because Smith can really run. Travis starts another double play. Gurriel, plenty of arm strength to get the out at first. Now, set down Matt Duffy. Get yourself out of the trouble here.
Slider in the dirt. Save this run. It's a 2-1 ball game. Tampa Bay scored 2 in the top of the first. The Blue Jays answered with a solo home run.
Duffy's been tough in these situations. Runners in scoring position. He's in the top 10 in the major leagues in batting average at .330. I think you got to keep it down also against him. He's an excellent high ball hitter, hitting over 300 against high balls.
Two balls and a strike now, 2 outs. Jake Bauers is at third. Three balls and a strike. Nobody's throwing in the Blue Jays bullpen. Reed Foley's got to figure this out.
He's got 100 pitches. As a young player, I think you got to give him all 100. The more he's out there, the more he's going to learn. This might be his last start of the season. There are the numbers so far. He's thrown 50 pitches. They get 5 outs so far.
In a 50-50 proposition, balls and strikes. Full count to Matt Duffy. Got him. The stuff is there, no question about that. Second strikeout of the game. The Rays leave a runner at third. They have a 2-1 lead. Beeks, you can see his numbers with Boston and Tampa Bay. He was picked up in a trade for Nathan Eovaldi, and he's into the ball game here in the second after Castillo went 1 inning.
Yeah, that was right towards the end of the trade deadline this year. Straight up, Beeks is 4-1 with a .532 earned run average. Very different than the opener for the Tampa Bay Rays, where Castillo hits 100 miles an hour. Beeks is more of a fastball, curveball, changeup type of pitcher. Doesn't really overpower you, and he has faced the Blue Jays already this year. They saw him earlier this year when the Rays were in town.
That was kind of interesting. John Gibbons and Sean Reed Foley coming out of the tunnel together. There's a deep drive to center field. Rowdy Tellez. Kevin Kiermaier at the track makes the catch. Kiermaier Sized it up perfectly, drifted back to the warning track, saw he had room, jumps and makes the catch.
If it stays in the ballpark, there's a really good chance that that guy right there is going to catch the ball. He had to deal with the wall, the wind, and the ball as Tellez picks on that first pitch, sends it 400 feet away, but look at it, he sizes it up and hauls it in. Tell you what, the American League East is blessed with a lot of good center fielders.
Indeed. Of course, Kevin's here, both Pilar and Kiermaier, they've been going head to head for years. But watch how he glances just at the end and then sees he's got enough room, jumps and makes the catch just before he hits the fence. Teoscar Hernandez with a 1-1 count, batting with 1 out. Teoscar did not play in the game last night until he ended the game as a pinch runner.
Beeks, his fastball, cut fastball, little changeup. Mentioned that he faced the Blue Jays. That was earlier this month when he came in after the opener, pitched 2 2/3 innings, gave up 1 hit against the Jays. That was it. He had 4 strikeouts. You know, you're in batting practice and you know you're facing Castillo, so you're starting to think about him. And you know, hey, I gotta work in batting practice on hitting that fastball, getting ready to hit that fastball and that hard slider. Well, he throws 1 inning. Now you got to change your thoughts.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and you know, we're kind of surprised to see Tellez in the lineup, see Reese McGuire in the lineup, thinking that Beeks was going to be the second pitcher, and here he is in the second. So Hernandez takes ball 4 and draw the 1-out walk. So Tellez flies out up against the fence in center. Hernandez walks. Now there was Solarte back in the lineup at third base. He will bat right-handed. Goes after the first pitch and hits a high fly ball into center. Kiermaier is waiting on it. He makes the catch. Solarte's out on 1 pitch, 2 away. Two fly ball outs here for Beeks. Hernandez walked. He's still at first base. Here's Devin Travis here to Rash Badani. Talk about Travis, how upbeat he is that he's healthy here at the end of the season. Playing in his 103rd game. That's a career high. He has battled an assortment of injuries, and this year he was sent back to the minor leagues.
A couple of weeks to go back down there, and you know, we had a shot of all of the injuries that he's had over the last few years, and when they happen, you're like, what? The shoulder injury in Cleveland happened. He missed a lot of time. That was a really damaging injury when the ball hit him off the shoulder. Then he had a play where he was covering first on a bunt play and really jammed up his knee. And it was scary. I remember talking to him just about a year ago. We were down in Tampa, and he said, you know, my knee's really bothering me, and I hope everything can turn out. This guy is a hard worker, good baseball player, good teammate, and you cheer for people like Devin. You want him to do well.
Ball in the dirt. Hernandez got a good break, but he is thrown out. What a job by Schufo. A curveball bounced quite a ways away from the catcher, but boy, he got on it quickly. It shows a strong arm. Ball in the dirt. It's the curveball. Gets away from the catcher, but look how quickly he gets on it. Fires a strike at Joey Wender with a terrific tag at second. starters the last time out, they each enjoyed pretty special outings.
Yeah, each a little bit different. 10 punch outs for Reed Foley in 5 innings, no earned runs. Thomas Pannone with 7 innings and 2 earned runs. And then Ryan Borucki, he did even better, 8 innings against Baltimore, no earned runs. So they're both coming off very good pitched games. This is where the consistency has to kick in. You follow that up with a good outing right here. And we talked about it last inning. There's going to be some growing pains, I think, with a lot of these guys. But they're talented, and they can adapt, and they listen, and they try to learn. So the learning curve could be very quick and very high for them.
Yeah, and they're always talking about pitching. They're always together, sitting around saying, hey, did you see that pitch? You see how he reacted to that? And there's another good example of how good Foley's stuff is when he gets it in the strike zone. He's quickly hit of Ji-Man Choi. Choi hit a bouncing ball that snuck through the right side of the infield for a base hit in the first. He came around to score the first run for Tampa Bay.
Sean Reed Foley has a very interesting windup, and you and I were asking him about that coming out of the windup, and he said, you know what, I'm from Florida, and I watched David Price. I saw David Price do this, so this is the way that I want to do it.
Solarte over near the seats, slides and makes a terrific catch. What an effort by Solarte. We mentioned how the winds are really swirling here with the roof open, and he stayed with it just before he got near that wall in front of the seats. Made a heck of a catch. He was retired Choi.
He was fighting the wind. He was fighting that baseball. That baseball was moving on him. I guarantee it. Stayed right with it, and he dives a little bit just to block himself from running into that wall. Leaves his feet to slide in there to cushion the blow. Heck of a catch.
One out for Tommy Pham.
But to finish that thought, David Price was with the Tampa Bay Rays, and he would watch him, and he has a lot to say about David Price. Really enjoyed watching Price, so he modeled his windup somewhat like Price, where he comes set right there. It's almost like you're in the stretch.
Yeah, and one thing different about Reed Foley, David Price is the most deliberate pitcher in the world. Threw a pitch the other day, took 41 seconds to deliver a pitch in New York. But Reed Foley is very compact.
Yeah, what it helps him do is keeps him over the rubber just a little bit longer. There's not a lot of extra moving parts, which is great when he's trying to deliver the ball towards home. I think he's eventually going to be a strike thrower because his mechanics are pretty good. They're unorthodox, but he says it works for me. Says it helps me to stay over that rubber just a tick longer.
Pham walks for a second time. That's 4 walks now for Reed Foley.
That's 23 consecutive games that Tommy Pham has reached base. What an asset offensively he's become for Tampa.
Played in 98 games with the Cardinals, hit just 248. You mentioned he's hit 339 since coming to the Rays. Joey Wendell hit that bouncing ball that Pelez booted at first, led to 2 runs back in the first. Wendell goes after that first pitch. There are no RBIs for the Rays, of course. Both runs scored on that Pelez air. Joey Wendell hit it sharply to the first baseman between Pelez and the bag and went off his glove for an air, his first air.
Didn't come up on him. Stayed down on him, ate him up.
I spoke to Reese McGuire about Reed Foley. They've come through the minor leagues together, and 2 years ago Reed Foley was really a tight, uptight kind of pitcher, a lot of energy on the mound. He still has that, but it's a little more focused now. It's popped up. Wind is an issue. Pelez over near the seats, and it's well out of play. You can see how he was sticking with it. You never know where it's going to go, and it's really unpredictable when it's this windy outside the Rogers Center. The wind hits that roof that's parked up high over center field, and it whips around here pretty good.
The one to Solarte to get the first out of the inning looked like it was being pushed towards the stands. by third base. That one looked like it was pushing the other way and pushing into the stands on the first base side.
One ball, two strikes. Reese McGuire with the sign for Reed Foley. Off speed pitch. Might have been the first curveball of the night.
Yeah, I think you're right. Took a little something off of that. It was just 78 miles an hour. That one isn't as good as his slider. That's a pitch that's going to have some work done. But he's got a lot of movement.
Line drive to left field. Teoscar is there. He makes the catch. Hernandez battling those lights high above the first base dugout. Stayed with it. You can see he's shaking his head. We have seen this since this ballpark opened. Left fielders have a lot of trouble with that bank of lights above the first base dugout.
Yeah, it's the low liner, and the lights are vertical. Or excuse me, horizontal. They go straight across. And as an outfielder, you go out there and you're hoping that that comes out of the lights, and it never comes out of the lights until the last second. You got to stay with it.
Shortstop Willie Adames. Hits that outside corner for strike one. Adames has had a good start to this month of September. Came into this game batting .333, 18 for 54. They had a good rip at that. Blake Snell will start here on Sunday. Trying to improve on his 20-5 record. Andrew Velasquez next to him, infielder who also plays some in the outfield. 1-2 pitch. Runner going, swing and a miss, strike three. That'll end the inning. Tommy Pham was moving on the pitch, but Adames strikes out. Still a 2-1 ball game. Travis McGuire and the leadoff man, Billy McKinney.
Now you can purchase season tickets and automatically become enrolled in My Blue Jays. Learn more at bluejays.com. A player to watch next year, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. hit the home run earlier on a 99.1 mile an hour fastball, the fastest pitch hit for a home run by a Blue Jays hitter this season. And according to StatCast, guys, at 450 feet, the longest home run hit on a 99+ mile an hour pitch by anyone since 2015.
That's impressive. He got on top of that fastball and Castillo provided the power, and he squared it up. Boy, he barreled it up.
Turned it around to dead central.
First time Gurriel has hit home runs in consecutive games this season. Consecutive at bats for Gurriel. Homered in the ninth, homered in the first tonight. Pulled on the ground. Duffy backs up, takes it on the long hop, long throw in time.
The 2018 Honda CR-V, where style and versatility come together.
Friday night, part of a 4-game series with Tampa Bay. Fan Appreciation Weekend. This will be the final Friday night of the season here at Rogers Center.
Where did time go?
Gone by quickly. Huh?
Wow.
Reese McGuire, the catcher.
You know, just watching Reese, his approach at the plate, the way he swings the bat, he's going to hit. I think he's going to be an above average offensive type of catcher. Just watching his approach at the plate, had a chance to watch him during batting practice today and what he was trying to accomplish during BP, staying on top of the ball, hitting the ball the other way when he needs to.
Curveball called, strike 3. McGuire called out on strikes. First strikeout for Beeks.
Yeah, he gets a left-hander and he gets a slow curveball and he just can't let it go. You'll remember that one the next time he comes up. The Super Slow-Mo is brought to you by the Samsung S9 and S9 Plus. The camera reimagined, available now. Reese McGuire gets the curveball and he's hoping it's low, but it's called strike 3.
2 outs, back to the top of the order. Billy McKinney facing the lefty. McKinney struck out on a slider his first time up. It was on Diego Castillo. Pulled on the ground. They were playing deep in the shift. Boy, that was a wicked hop for Wendo. He stays with it and ends the inning. Beeks retires the side in order. We've played 3 innings here at Rogers Center. Tampa Bay with an early 2-1 lead.
After retiring from pro tennis, that's Canadian sporting legend Daniel Nestor. He knocked an item off his bucket list today, taking batting practice with the Blue Jays. Third base coach Louis Rivera threw to him. Nestor actually hit about a half-dozen bombs deep, but off the wall and the warning track, and he vowed he could hit a home run, but he just missed today. Those are his daughters, Tiana and Bianca. They came along for it. Dad actually pulled them out of school this afternoon. And this all happened on Natasha Nestor's birthday. Mom didn't show, but her girls and husband did. And how about Nestor retiring at 46 years young, Buck?
He is a terrific player, one of the most decorated doubles player of all time. He won the Australian Open, 4 French Opens, 2 Wimbledons, and a U.S. Open. And he crossed one off his bucket list
Yeah,
today.
yeah,
We
almost.
watched him. He was pretty good.
Almost went deep, right?
He was
Almost
pretty
went
good.
deep. I like his swing. He looks like a tennis guy. You see him stepping into it with a couple of steps.
He is a tennis guy.
Oh, that's why.
I thought he was going to hit a couple out. And we watched him, and Louis Revere did a good job. Laid it in there for him pretty good. Kevin Kiermaier hits a fly ball. There's Randall Gritchick making the catch. One away here in the fourth. It's a 2-1 ball game. And Reed Foley, we know one thing about Reed Foley. He's not going to give up.
No.
He is a tough customer.
You know, we were talking to him again in Baltimore, and we said, you know, do you have a couple of more, you know, do you have one more start? He goes, no, I got two. I've got two. I mean, he was pretty adamant about that. He says, I go into the coaches every day and I tell them I'm fine.
Line drive left field. Hernandez on the run. It's over his head. Bounces off the wall into the stands. A ground rule double for Jake Bauer. He hit that low liner over the head of Hernandez and skipped over the wall for a ground rule double.
That ball seemed to pick up steam as it made it into the outfield. Fastball inside outset, lines it to left field, and it just took off over the head of Teoscar, up and out of here for two bases.
Man at second for the number 9 hitter, Nick Schufo. Breaking ball down and in. Schufo single to left field on a 3-1 pitch his last time up. Tried to check his swing. He went around. Ball on the strike now. Still nobody throwing in the Blue Jays bullpen as Reed Foley has thrown 74 pitches now. But obviously he's not tired.
No, give him his full allotment here and just let him do his thing. You know, he'll learn. He'll learn about getting himself into these types of problems and how to work his way out of them. We had that shot of him talking with John Gibbons. They both came up from behind the dugout there. I'm sure Gibby was lecturing him about, hey, look, just be aggressive. I'm going to give you 100 pitches. Do what you can, and when you're done, I'll take you out.
Yeah.
But don't you know, walk the ballpark. Challenge them.
Gibbons was a catcher, obviously. He has had many of these conversations with pitchers as a manager and a player. Schufo late on that fastball. And this is a project, and this is the first time Pete Walker's had a chance to see Reed Foley for an extended period. You see him in spring training a little bit. Really can't gauge anything there, but Walker, he's a very good technician, and he'll iron out some things and maybe get to the point where Reed Foley can command the strike zone a little better. But you can see all around the strike zone, and the movement is there. The velocity is good. And we talk about his slider as you see the leadoff man, Malik Smith, waiting on deck.
He was also talking about when he first came up, that's a good pitch there, that he felt like he had to be a little bit better. I have to throw that perfect pitch to get big league hitters out. And it's not true.
No, it's not true. You just have to throw that same stuff you were throwing in the minors. And yeah, they're going to lay off some breaking balls that might have been swung out in the minor leagues. When you make quality pitches, you'll get outs. Schufo catches up to that high fastball.
I think a pitcher, to be successful, has to master at least 3 pitches. So whenever the count, whatever the count is, you can throw either of those 3 pitches, any of those 3 pitches in any count. Like right now, if you could master that slider, this would be a great time to throw the slider.
Another foul into the seats.
He's starting to time up the fastball just a little bit more. That's what I mean. You just something to give that hitter something to think about, and it doesn't take long to freeze a hitter. If you can throw a breaking ball, if he's looking for a fastball and you throw a breaking ball, it just takes a second for him to freeze, and you'll get him.
There's that slider.
Out of way.
Backed off and got the strikeout. Third strikeout of the ball game for Reed Foley.
You could tell that Chufo was starting to time up his fastball just a little bit more, so he had to go to something off speed. And watch as this ball comes in. He misses it by a couple of inches, but that's how you pitch. Change things up just a little bit, change speeds.
Done a lot better job throwing strikes lately. 17 of the last 22 pitches have been strikes. 2 outs now. Malik Smith is 0 for 2. He jumps ahead with a good fastball. Smith hit into a double play in the second. Top of the 4th inning. Both teams scored in the 1st inning. Tampa Bay with a 2-1 lead. Fly ball. That's going to get down and go past the outfielders. Bowers is around third. He'll score as Malik Smith delivers a 2-out RBI double. And the Rays now lead it 3-1. Couple of doubles in the inning.
That one was up. He threw the first one by him, tried to go away. Look, it's the same pitch that he got strike one with. He missed his spot. He wanted it away. It stayed in, and Malik Smith with that short swing just uses his hands to dump it into left field for an RBI hit.
(3-1) Tampa Bay. They have 4 hits. The Blue Jays have just 1 hit. A solo home run by Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Say Fernandez starting to loosen up for the Blue Jays. Matt Duffy's the hitter. There's a slider for strike one. It's 1-1.
Infield is back. Got to knock that ball down. Keep it in the infield. That gives Malik Smith a little bit more room to work with at second base, though.
He's got a big lead, secondary lead. He's way out there.
But you'd hate for the infield to come in to try and keep him close, and he squeaks one through. Duffy can put the ball put the bat on the ball and hit it anywhere. You got to play him straight up, which they do. I mean, they're basically giving him that huge lead at second base.
He goes after the slider and strikes out. But Tampa Bay scores another run in the top of the 4th inning. They take a 3-1 lead against Sean Reed Foley and the Blue Jays. Gurriel, Morales, and Grichuk. Big bats for the
Season of 31 Thoughts. It's the podcast presented by GMC. There you'll get insider analysis and opinion covering the world of hockey from the industry's best. Available now wherever you get your podcasts. 31 Thoughts presented by GMC.
Thank you very much, Rash. There's Gurriel Jr. takes that big, slow curveball for strike one. Boy, he hit a shot his first time up. He hit a 99-mile-an-hour fastball to dead center.
So you knew that slow curveball was coming first pitch, right? Let me put that in his mind to begin this at bat.
0-2 now. Swinging a drive down the right side. This ball is going to slice out of play. Go back and look at the first inning home run.
Watch how quickly he gets to this fastball. It's going to be out over the plate. Boom. Catch it out in front. Again, that was 99. And it left here 104 miles an hour. Hit a home run, his first home run in the 9th inning yesterday. He homers his first time up here today.
His 10th home run of the season. He's behind 0-2. There's another drive to center field. Kermeyer is back, looking up. This one is gone. How about 3 homers in a row? Lefty, righty, it doesn't matter.
You know, I think the Blue Jays have something special in Lourdes Gurriel. I really do. This is his first taste of the big leagues, and he's learning every day, and he's getting better every day. Kevin Cash is going to have to think about maybe pitching a little bit differently to this young man.
This is his 61st game of the season. He's going to get tired of hitting home runs.
Yeah, he's going to have to dig some of those sunflower seeds out of his shirt.
Gurriel has homered in 3 straight at-bats.
Breaking ball. Pull the hands in and let her fly.
Boy, don't you love that? Both of his home runs have gone to center. One was a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. The other was a breaking ball.
Stand up straight. Clear the hips. Boy, that ball just took off. He's a special hitter.
Second multi-home run game for Gurriel. 27th of July at Chicago against the White Sox. He had a 2-homer game. Off the plate for ball 3. It's a full count to Henrys Morales.
Some hitters can just force you off the plate after you hit a bomb like that. Pitchers are afraid to go back in there.
Peaks gloves it and runs it over toward first. Flips to Bowers. Morales is retired. 1 away. Such a pretty swing. We're going to look at it again.
Yeah, here it is one more time. It's a slider down and in. See how he kept his hands between the ball and his body. He's able to knock it out here. I mean, you can get some exit velocity that way.
So it's a 3-2 game now. Tampa Bay 3, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. 2. He has the only 2 hits for the Blue Jays. Both solo homers. And he's got a whole shirt full of sunflower seeds.
Somebody's got to help him. Untuck the shirt and let him fall out the bottom.
They got to come up with a different celebration. Inside, ball 3.
Taking a quick look to see if he's going to let him swing. 3-0.
He's swinging 3-0. Get up, ball. This one's going to go. Randall Gritchen hit it into the WestJet flight net. Number 24 for Gritchen.
He took a quick look to Louis Rivera to see if he was going to get the green light. Louis flashed him, go ahead and swing if it's close. Randall created some backspin on that ball, didn't he? That thing took off like it hit that jet stream out in center field and just took off.
24 home runs, that ties his career high set in 2016 with the Cardinals.
You know, we talk about exit velocity all the time here, and they have that up on the scoreboard after every hit. This one from Randall Grichuk, this 3-0 hit, 111 miles per hour off the bat. That's how you come in and get that ball into the air. Create that top spin. Watch this thing just take off as it leaves this ballpark. On a line.
Well, when he squares them up, they go. He's got 24. Second time in his career he's had 20 or more home runs in 3 straight seasons. And remember, folks, he got off to a terrible start. Rowdy Tellez with a 3-1 count.
Falling behind, it's going to hurt. Look at this power. He creates that with bat speed. Not a real big guy, but he's got a very quick bat. That home run now, you mentioned it's 24, it ties his career high.
See, second longest home run hit here at Rogers Center, 464 feet. Like I say, when he hits them, they go. Now they're trying to determine where it hit. Rowdy Tellez called out on that curveball. Reese McGuire took the same pitch for strike 3. Now Tellez called out on that good curveball from Jalen Beeks. Randall Gritch has got him talking, that's for sure. It's a 3-3 game. 2 home runs in the inning. All the Blue Jay runs coming on home runs. Nobody working in the Rays bullpen. Blue Jays hit 3 home runs in the 9th inning last night. They had 4 in the game.
It's what they do. It's what they do. It's a home run hitting team. Ideally, you'd like to have a little bit more balance, higher batting average, a little bit higher on base percentage, but there's nothing like the home run.
Now Snyder, the pitching coach, and Blake Snell probably studying the hitters, trying to figure out what Snell will do on Sunday against his lineup. Of course, he's interested now as Jalen Beeks is the lefty. Couple of impressive home runs tonight. And there you see, they look at his scouting report, lots of numbers.
Yeah, you don't just, if you're a pitcher, a starting pitcher, you don't just work the day you throw. There's a lot of preparation. There's a lot of work in between your starts to stay in shape, studying the other hitters, how you're going to get them out, how you match up with the opposition.
Hernandez gets jammed and it's got a chance. Malik Smith with a nice running catch. Boy, he stayed with it, utilizing that great speed. The ball was in fair territory. That catch will end the inning. Malik Smith has got a lot of speed. Catches this one, a sliding catch down the right field line. But it's a 3-3 game as we head to the 5th. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Joe Siddle in the Samsung broadcast studio. Mercedes Community Partners. Welcome to the ballpark. It's a beautiful night. The roof is wide open, and it's a 3-3 game. And don't leave early, folks. You never know what might happen with this Blue Jays team. 3 home runs for the Blue Jays, accounting for all of their runs. Sean Reed-Foley will start the 5th. Ji-Man Choi takes the first pitch just off the plate for a ball. Like Jeff Nelson, home plate umpire, had a little trouble with his face mask. Upstairs, Foley's had his problems. Reed-Foley has had his problems throwing strikes, but he hasn't been given any favors. No borderline pitches have gone his way.
The Rays, and correctly, have become a little bit more patient this game. Yesterday, Sam Gavilia was all over the plate. They were swinging early on.
Fair ball, just inside the bag at first, down the right field line. McKinney will dig it out as Ji-Man Choi stops at second. He had thoughts of going to third. Billy McKinney was shaded way over in the power alley in right center. He had a long run to get to that. That thing was just barely fair over the bag at first.
And he got to it and got it in quickly. I think that's what outfielders have to do. You got to get it and just get it in the air back into the infield. The coaches or the runners see the outfielder throwing that ball in quickly, and they're going to stop that runner. McKinney gets it in, leadoff double.
For Choi, his second hit of the night, his 12th double of the season. Now Pete Walker with a determined walk to the mound. Jose Fernandez is up for a second time in the Blue Jays bullpen.
Yeah, just designed to go out there deliberately to give Fernandez a little bit more time to get loose as Kevin Cash is coming out. Something happened to Ji-Man.
Yeah, he's bringing the trainer out to check on Ji-Man Choi. Choi singled and scored in the first inning, and now they're looking at his knee.
Let's see if we can see something happen here. It's his left knee. And he's thinking about it, puts the brakes on, and feels it.
Yeah, he was put the brakes on hard, and you could see him wince like, man, that wasn't a lot of fun running the bases, but he's going to stay in the game. Deemed himself okay. Yeah, he's explained to Gurriel when he put the brakes on there, he tweaked his knee. Jose Fernandez should be ready by now. He has thrown a couple of times already in this game. Adam Kolarek. He pitched to one batter in last night's game. You got Rowdy Tellez to ground out to first. This is Tommy Pham. Been breezy, and we have seen some of the hitters step out, clear their eyes as that dirt around home plate's getting blown around a bit. Pham has walked twice tonight. Both times he's come to the plate.
Got some lefties coming up for Tampa Bay after Tommy Pham. This might be Sean's last batter tonight.
94 pitches. Joey Wendell is on deck. Line drive to right and over Billy McKinney's head, off the wall. Choi is around third. He's going to score. Pham is headed for third. They missed the cutoff man, and he'll get there standing up with his second triple of the series. John Gibbons going to make a pitching change. There's the call for Fernandez. Tommy Pham has had another perfect night at the plate. He had 3 hits last night.
That ball just took off again once it got into the outfield, just off the glove of Billy McKinney up against the wall. That'll score Choi easily. Yeah, with a bunch of lefties coming in. Tampa Bay has just taken the lead again. John Gibbons is going to go to the bullpen.
Sean Reed Foley leaves. The Rays have a 4-3 lead. The lefty Jose Fernandez in to face Joey Wenda when we come back. Still nobody out. Sixth inning in last night's game, walked the first batter he faced, G-Man Choi, gave up a single to Tommy Pham, and got it out, and he faced Joey Wenda last night, got him to pop out to the first baseman.
Yeah, so a bunch of lefties coming up now. You got Wendell, Kiermaier, Bauer, Schufo. John Givens goes to his bullpen, trying to save another run. There's nobody out and a runner at third base.
Tampa Bay with a 4-3 lead. Wendell's hitting .301 as we speak. He hit that hot shot ground ball to the first baseman that Tellez booted. That led to 2 first inning runs. 94, but upstairs it's a ball and a strike. Sean Reed Foley, he battled. That first inning could have gone his way to make a couple plays on the ground ball. The Choi hit was just a ground ball that got through the right side of the infield. Breaking ball popped up and playable. Pham at third base, standing on the bag, caught in foul ground. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update for us. Oakland will play later on tonight out in Oakland. Minnesota Twins are there. Jose Barrios, the right-hander from Minnesota. Liam Hendricks playing the role of the opener. He'll start for the A's. A's are a game and a half behind the Yankees. That's for home field advantage in the wild card.
Yeah, they're probably going to be the wild card. Now, where is it going to be played? The infield is going to come in now after that last out.
Strike 2. This is Willie Adames, the shortstop. Tampa Bay with a run here in the 5th. Jose Fernandez in relief of Sean Reed Foley. Adames has walked and struck out in his 2 plate appearances. Tommy Pham at third with an RBI triple.
He's freezing at third base. I don't know if they want him to run into an out here on any ground ball. That's why the infield is in. You can see Pham over at third base. He's getting an okay lead, but he's not real aggressive when the pitch goes to home plate.
Strike 3 call. Adames caught looking at that fastball. Fernandez with a strikeout. So he comes in and gets Wendell to pop out and now strikes out Adames.
He's got a cutter and a slider, and his slider looks like a curveball. Look at the spin he can generate on that slider. it goes down. He gets a lot of movement on the slider, and he freezes up Adames. Huge strikeout. Runner at third base, less than 2 outs, and he freezes him.
Kevin Kiermaier, lefty on lefty for Fernandez. There's strike one. Well, I like the fact that John Gibbons went right back to Fernandez. Last night wasn't his best outing, but he's right back on the horse tonight.
Trying to save that run over at third base.
The appeal down to third, no swing according to Andy Fletcher.
Fernandez doesn't get rattled, does he? Young kid making his first month in the big leagues, making the most of it.
Fernandez has played a couple of seasons of winter ball in the Dominican Republic, and that certainly gives him some very valuable experience in pressurized situations. Two-one pitch. Breaking ball fouled up. Sean Reed Foley, the starter, ends up walking 4. And starting his inning, gave up a double to G-Man Choi and a triple to Tommy Pham. But he didn't get a lot of help from his defense tonight. Breaking ball on the ground. Tellez dives, gloves it, fires to first. Not in time. Kevin Kiermaier can really run. And he beat the throw to first base. The Blue Jays will have a look at it. Pham comes in to score for the time being.
You know, it's so important, that initial call by the umpire. He calls him safe, and now the Blue Jays have to find conclusive evidence that the throw and the pitcher, Fernandez, beat Kiermaier. He can really run. This is a two-hopper to first baseman. Look at him lower his head and stretch out there. This should be very definitive right here. Kiermaier stretching. The ball's in his glove. Rowdy is right in the way. You can't tell when he hits the bag.
Boy, it looked like Fernandez might have beaten him to the bag there.
It does.
That's a great replay there. Let's have another look at it. Fernandez beats him. With that angle right there, he beat him.
Out.
Yes, he did. Now we'll see what they see in New York. They have the answer. Out. Good call. Good play by Tellez. Good play by Fernandez. It saves a run. Takes a run off the board. It's still a 4-3 ball game.
In the box this winter. He told me he's going to work further with that. He wants to use his body better mechanics wise. As for the tweaks to his stance, that'll be a real point of emphasis over the offseason, to the point where Randall wants to be so comfortable and consistent with it that he won't even think about it Grichuk said it's in the winter. You can get a better feel because you're not worried about your numbers and winning ball games. Guys?
Yeah, he's made some dramatic adjustments, and they've proven to be very effective. I think Brooke Jacoby really wants to straighten out the angle of that bat still. He likes where he is with the upright stance, but he's making some adjustments with the bat angle a little bit.
He was tying himself up when in that crouch, and he's leaning out over the plate and he couldn't open up that shoulder. But now he can, and you can see the results have been outstanding. Adam Kolarek into the game. He worked in last night's game. He wasn't around very long for Tampa Bay. He just faced one batter. He got Rowdy Tellez to ground out. He will now take over here in the 5th inning with the team leading.
It'll be the bottom third of the Blue Jays lineup. Solarte, Travis, and Reese McGuire. Kolarek with that sidearm delivery. When you see a side-arming left-hander, you think soft, but he has a little bit more velocity than you might expect. Bounced foul off the bat of Solarte.
I don't think there's anybody in that bullpen for Tampa Bay who throws soft. Left-hander, right-hander, it doesn't matter. They all can bring it.
Outside, we have a stat sheet that gives you all the average velocity by pitch of both teams, and when you have somebody that averages over 95, they highlight it in red. There's a whole bunch of red on Tampa Bay's stat sheet. Castillo averages 96.8, Alvarado 97.3, Stanek 98.3, and Tyler Glasnow, who will start tomorrow, 96.6. They got some heat for you.
Yeah, turn it up a notch when they go to that bullpen.
Fly ball, that's going to head for the seats and reach. Kyle Snyder, in his first full season as pitching coach, done a terrific job with his staff. And he and Kevin Cash have really convinced the pitchers, both the starters and the relievers, that this is the best situation to utilize the opener. 51 times now they have used an opener this season. Can't argue with their numbers. Kolarek swiped at it but missed it, but there's Joey Wendell straight away at second. 1 out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell again. Well, not only is it a big home run for him, but it snaps a long streak.
Yeah, a streak of 75 consecutive innings by Chris Sale without allowing a home run. It's the thing about JD. He hits good pitchers.
He likes the challenge. Devin Travis, he grounded out to third base. That time he fouls it off the catcher's mask. Nick Schufo checking the status of that mask, making sure everything is still intact. It's 90 miles an hour, and you know, when I think of a guy like this, I think of Mike Myers, who pitched so long, and he was a side-arming, almost submarining lefty, but he'd throw 83, 84 miles an hour. He didn't throw very hard.
A little sinker slider coming out of the pen. Just create a different angle that you need to pick up the baseball. If you throw it like that, you shouldn't give up many home runs, because you get so much movement. You get your share of ground ball outs.
Drive to right field. This ball's carrying. Malik Smith back in time, makes a catch. He hit that fence hard, but he's got the baseball. Well, he's utilized his speed a couple of times tonight to take hits away from the Blue Jays.
You know, if you've been paying attention, I think the outfielders have to take 2, 3, 4, 5 steps back than their normal position. The way the ball seems to be taking off tonight. Devin Travis sends this ball right to the wall, and Malik Smith, he knows he's going to hit that wall hard, but the concentration is there, sees it right into his glove and absorbs that smash up against the wall in right field.
Well, he had that flush.
Jars it.
Like he tweaked his knee, maybe his ankle. Still limping around a little bit out there in right.
But I think you have to see that the ball's really carried. So you don't want anything over your head. So you got to play a little bit deeper.
Malik Smith made a nice sliding catch to end the bottom of the 4th inning. Made a good catch against Teoscar Hernandez to end that inning. Reese McGuire chases that pitch off the plate down and in. It's a ball and a strike. The number 9 hitter. Kolarik's an interesting guy. He can handle righties and lefties as well, but he has been utilized as a lefty specialist, and it's a funky delivery. And he strikes out Reese McGuire. 3 up, 3 down, no problem for Kolarik. We will go to the 6th. Tampa Bay with a 1-run lead.
Is your #1 Blue Jays app where you can customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Blue Jays home screen icons and features such as MLB Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. with 3 home runs in 3 consecutive at-bats. The last Blue Jay to do it, Josh Donaldson, 1 year ago. Guys?
Absolutely, and great company for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. 20th time it has happened in franchise history. He's the first Blue Jay rookie to ever homer in 3 straight at-bats. You heard Arash talk about Josh Donaldson. Last time he did it was September 16th and 17th last year. One Blue Jay has homered in 4 straight at-bats. Mr. Tabler, who would that be?
Carlos Delgado.
Carlos Delgado.
I did that game.
It was a game.
Against Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Right here.
September 25th, 2003.
What a magical night that was. His last one. Remember when they used to have the glass over the WestJet flight deck out there?
Yep.
That's where his last home run landed.
On the
top
roof.
of the glass.
Yeah. There's a fly ball down the left field line, slicing away from Hernandez, and that'll be out of play into the seats. Jake Bauers had a ground rule double. His last time up, he came around to score the 3rd Tampa Bay run. That gave Tampa Bay a 3-1 lead at the time. That was in the 4th inning. Well, what a good pitch by Fernandez. He strikes out Bauer, second strikeout that's coming into the game for Fernandez.
Well, you got to like what you see from Jose Fernandez. He's not intimidated by the big leagues. He just comes in there and does his thing. He's going to put some of these left-handed batters down. This is a slider down and away. Bowers tries to check his swing. He can't. 2 strikeouts now and 4 batters for Jose.
The Blue Jays are starting to get into a roster crunch with the development of some of these minor leaguers. Mark Leiter Jr. is loose. The Rays have sent a pinch hitter to the plate. The bat for the catcher, Nick Schufo. This is C.J. Cron. And he goes after that first pitch. Good fastball from Fernandez. Cron pinch hit in the 6th inning of last night's game against Tim Mesa and struck out. But then in the 7th inning, he delivered a 3-run single to left field. Little blooper that dropped in the perfect spot in left field, cleared the bases.
Kevin Cash, I think, was trying to force John Gibbons' hand right here, bringing in a right-handed hitter to get the left-hander. He sees that Fernandez is dealing. He's going to try and get him out. But Gibby wasn't going to fall for that trick.
Malik Smith is on deck. He's a lefty. Then you've got Duffy, a righty, and G-Man Choi, another lefty. Fastball up the middle, base hit for C.J. Cron.
Hurry into Home Hardware's kitchen event, on now until October 9th. Here's how.
Beautiful evening here in Toronto. The roof is open and it was closed most of the afternoon. Didn't start opening until 6:39 this evening. This turned out to be a nice, cool, comfortable evening. A little breezy for the players. Top of the order, Malik Smith had an RBI double his last time up. Malik Smith has made a couple of real good defensive plays in right field tonight.
Tried. Last 2 at-bats I tried. Struck out.
We talk about the roster crunch for the Blue Jays. There's a lot of minor leaguers that are now in a position where you have to protect them. You have to add them to your 40-man roster. Of course, Fernandez is on that 40-man roster now as he's pitching here in the big leagues. 39 of the 40 Blue Jays players on the roster are here with the team. The only one is Dalton Pompey. He's not with the team. Wasn't called up.
So now you have these 39. You have Dalton, that's 40, and you've got maybe 10 or 12 minor leaguers that you have to make a decision on. So you could take guys off the 40-man roster who are on it right now and replace them with those minor leaguers. But that's a whole nother sort of set of circumstances.
Yeah, then they become exposed to the Rule 5 draft, which will take place during the winter meetings. Winter meetings this year will be in Las Vegas in December, first week of December. But the Blue Jays haven't had this problem in the last few years, but now because of the development of the minor league system, they're starting to see some prospects pan out.
And they have to decide, do they want them? Do they want to keep them, or do they want to expose them?
So Fernandez loses Malik Smith. That'll force C.J. Cron down to second base, and that'll bring John Gibbons out of the dugout. So Fernandez gets 4 outs, but gives up a 1-out single and now walks a man here with 1 out in the 6th. The batter is Matt Duffy. The pitcher will be Mark Leiter Jr. came in to start the 7th inning. He recorded just 1 out, was charged with 4 earned runs on 3 hits. He walked the batter and had a strikeout.
Yeah, the batter he walked was Malik Smith to start that inning. Gave up a hit, an infield hit to Matt Duffy. That'll be the first player that he's going to face tonight. There was a wild pitch, another infield hit, stolen base, and then his night was over. Holtz sold 18 games this year with Philadelphia and the Blue Jays. Tough situation here. The heart of the order of the Rays coming up.
Matt Duffy is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. He struck out twice against Sean Reed-Foley. Reed-Foley went 4 innings plus 2 batters. First pitch swinging, Duffy pops it into the seats. Reed-Foley gives up 4 runs, 2 earned runs. He walked 4 and struck out 5. Could have been a much different night for him. Jose Fernandez came in and retired the side in order in the 5th. Got out of that inning. And then struck out Bowers to start the inning. And then gave up a single to the pinch hitter C.J. Cron and walked Malik Smith.
32 pitch first inning for Sean. Could have been different. Could have helped him to get a little bit deeper in this game other than 4 innings. So now the bullpen's got to bring it home.
Blue Jays turned a double play in the 2nd. They could use one right here. Slow curveball from Leiter is effective. 1-2 now. C.J. Cron, the pinch hitter. He's at second base. Malik Smith, the leadoff man. He has walked this inning. Gets away, and Cron didn't get a very good read. That was certainly a ball that might have been one he could advance on.
Yeah, a ball that ricochets towards third base, over to third base side of the playing surface, you can't advance. But a ball that ricochets, another breaking ball towards first base, the dugout, it's a longer throw from there all the way to third base, but he didn't get a good read. And if you don't get a good read initially, there's no sense running into an out.
2-2 pitch. Now it's a full count. Ji-Man Choi. Apparently that injury has forced him out of the game. Austin Meadows has come out on deck. Remember, Choi injured his leg, lower leg, running around the bases.
So Meadows has come out. Looks like he will pitch hit. See what the runners do here. They're staying.
Hot shot past Gurriel into left field. They're going to stop the runner, Cron. Throw comes all the way into home. Now the bases are loaded. Matt Duffy with his first hit has loaded the bases.
Cron could not advance on that wild pitch. That was blocked, and now he's got to freeze to make sure that ball is not caught by Gurriel, so he just moves up 90 feet. Duffy on that 3-2 pitch hits it hard, and Gurriel almost comes up with it. And now the bases are loaded and still just 1 out.
Austin Meadows has been announced into the game as a pinch hitter for Ji-Man Choi. We've been told Choi left the game with left knee soreness. So they'll send the pinch hitter up. C.J. Cron had a pinch hit single in this inning. He's at third base. See his numbers for the season. Austin Meadows, a .290 average with 5 home runs.
He came up with the Pirates earlier this year and raked. Got off to a great start for them, and then they sent him down around the All-Star break. The idea when they acquired him was to play him every day. He's missed some time the previous 2 seasons with some injuries, so he wanted to go down there, and all he did when he went down to AAA was rake.
Upstairs, it's 2-0. Meadows this season started. His first game was May 18th. By the end of May, he was hitting .409. I mean, he just came up, and as you said, he raked.
4 home runs in his first 40 at-bats with the Pirates. Then they traded him.
He was part of the Chris Archer trade. He's a good-looking young hitter. Just 23 years old. Tommy Pham waits on deck. The bases are loaded. It's a 3-0 count to Austin Meadows. That's the green light and singles into right field. Corona's in to score. Here comes Malik Smith. And the throw is cut off and he'll score. So Austin Meadows comes off the bench and drives in 2.
Well, you love to see managers give young players the green light, show them confidence in them. And a young player, hey, I'm going to do something to help my new team. Just get called up, get his first American League hit, a 2-run single.
RBIs 14 and 15 for Meadows.
Go down, and that's a sweet-looking swing from the left side. It's a base hit to right field, and McKinney's got to lay back on the ball just for a second on the big hop. That gives Smith time to come around to score, and it also sends Duffy to third base.
Boy, hard to fathom that they would give up on a 23-year-old first-round pick. But he was included in the trade for Chris Archer. And that was a pretty good looking swing. Pete Walker, the pitching coach, out to have a chat with Mark Leiter Jr. Taylor Guerrero was up early in this ball game. He's loosening up again. It is now 6-3 Tampa Bay. Mark Leiter Jr. has given up a couple of singles here.
Those 2 runs will be charged to Jose Fernandez.
That'll close the book on him. Double play in order. Tommy Pham, boy, he has been swinging it in this series, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's got a runner at third base with less than 2 outs. I think you have to be aggressive to try and drive that run in. First fastball you see, let it fly.
Pham is 4 for 6 in the series. He's walked twice tonight. He's hit 2 triples, both RBI triples in this series so far. Ball on a strike. Fly ball left field. This ball's carrying. Hernandez is at the fence. He makes the catch. Duffy's tagging at third. He comes in to score. Another RBI for Tommy Pham, his second of the night. His 4th of the series.
Just have competitive at-bats and do what you have to do. He was thinking about getting that ball airborne from the minute he stepped up to the plate. And he cashes in that run. He just missed a 3-run homer. That's his second RBI of the night. He's had 4 very good at-bats, and it's only the 6th inning.
7-3 now for Tampa Bay. Second baseman Joey Wendell. Meadows has 4 stolen bases this season in the big leagues. At Durham, he had just 1 steal. Indianapolis in AAA with the Pirates, he was 11 for 12. There he goes. Throw from McGuire from his knees is high and not in time.
Where you could just tell that he wanted to go. He was itching to go over there at first base, and they didn't make him stop over there. He's a big guy. He's 6'3", so he's got long strides. Watch him at first base. You can see him. He keeps moving his feet. He takes off. That's a straight steal. Never looked in to see what the catcher was doing, and now he's going to be in scoring position. And John Gibbons looks like he's going to make another change.
So 2 balls. No, they put Wendell on. That's what the deal is. They're going to make a pitching change. So they didn't see the intentional pass. So Taylor Guerrero, a former Tampa Bay Ray, will come on to take over for Mark Leiter Jr. Tampa Bay with a 7-3 lead. Willie Adames, the shortstop, the hitter. Blue Jays. He's a former Tampa Bay Ray #1 pick.
Roster is expanded on September the 1st, so Taylor came up from Buffalo then. Pitched in 23 games for the Bisons, also had 7 starts. So he is stretched out. He's done a good job for the Blue Jays in his 6 games here. You can see those numbers, not bad. Got to put out the fire.
Guerreri had a big season in AA in 2016 for Tampa Bay. He went 12-6 and a very good ERA at 3.76. And he had Tommy John surgery. Last year, he pitched a total of just 2 innings. Excuse me, 2 games, a total of 9 innings, and he had elbow problems. He started out the season, and that elbow was bothering him. They shut him down for the rest of the year.
He was on the disabled list for about a month this year with an arm injury, right arm injury. Tell you what, he gets a lot of movement on his fastball.
Willie Adames is the batter. Adames is over 2 with a couple of strikeouts. 3 runs in this inning. Tampa Bay has taken a 7-3 lead. Bonner blocked by the catcher, Reese McGuire.
Taylor last worked a week ago in that series when the Blue Jays were in New York to play the Yankees. An inning and a third, just gave up 3 scratch hits and a couple of walks. That was it. They might need a couple of innings out of him tonight.
Outside, 2-2 now. The Blue Jays used 6 relievers in the game last night. Fernandez, Petrichka, Meza, Leiter Jr., Biagini, and David Paulino, who was the winning pitcher. There's a base hit into right field. Meadows is around third. He's going to score. And Billy McKinney has trouble getting the ball back in. Willie Adames with a good at bat hits that slider into right center for an RBI single.
Yeah, you got to be so impressed with the Rays and their approach with 2 strikes. He fell behind very quickly, did Adames, and then he cut his swing down. He didn't overswing, just trying to put the bat on the ball. Look at that, a flat-footed swing. Shoots at the right field. It's a slider. He will pick up an RBI with that hit to make it now 8-3.
Joey Wendell goes to third base on the base hit. For Adames, that's his 31st RBI of the season, and now it is 8-3 Tampa Bay. They've out hit the Blue Jays 10-3. Kevin Kiermaier Ball gets away. Adames is going to move to second on the wild pitch. Boy, you can see the athleticism up and down this order in this Rays lineup. They steal bases. They move up on balls in the dirt. Their speed has played well in the outfield tonight. Alex Smith has made a couple of nice running catches.
Yeah, they've got athletes all over the diamond. And it translates offensively and defensively.
Kiermaier goes after the pitch and swings right through it. It's a ball on a strike to the center fielder. Kiermaier for the season hitting just .223, but he's had a good month of September. That's a foul ball hooked down the right field line. Kiermaier spent time on the 60-day disabled list. Missed a lot of time. Chad Mottola, the hitting coach, has to be a happy man tonight the way these Rays have swung the bats. 8 runs on 10 hits. They haven't hit a home run.
Kevin spent some time on the disabled list this year, but he has raised his batting average 29 points in the month of September with a hot month.
2-2, 2 outs. Now it's a full count. Wendo's at third base, Adames at second base. Jake Bauers is on deck. He had a double back in the 4th inning. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Guerreri. Foul, then we'll do it all over. The Rays have utilized their bench very well in this inning. They've had a couple of hitters come off the bench and get pinch hit singles.
Crone and Meadows. Crone got it all started. Remember, this inning started with Jake Bauer striking out.
Kiermaier is the 9th man to bat. And they'll walk him, so that'll load the bases.
They had a bat around inning in last night's game. That was the 7th inning when they scored 5 runs on 5 hits.
The Blue Jays have walked 7. Including 3 in this inning.
One of them intentional.
Kevin Kiermaier having a chat with the rookie Rowdy Tellez. So Jake Bauers, as Pat mentioned, he struck out to start this inning. He'll have another swing at it.
Blue Jays are in the shift. They've got 3 infielders on the right side, just 1 lone defender on the left side. That's Solarte. Jake Bauers has a chance now to really add to the lead. He might be hunting fastball first pitch here.
Trying to get his bat going a little bit. Bauers hitting .202 for the season. He is 1 for 2 with a walk.
That one was just off the plate. We mentioned that they are in the shift. StatCast AI is powered by AWS. Evan Travis in the outfield. The second baseman. Here are the base runners.
Well, that was a tough block for Reese McGuire, but he's able to get in front of it. 2-0 now. The Rays in this series, 12 for 31 with runners in scoring position. They've cashed in on their opportunities.
Good at bats. Chad Mottola was telling us that yesterday. He says they really bought in to their philosophy in hitting, and they'll sacrifice some power for some good at bats and a better on base percentage.
Yeah, Mottola was suggesting he just wants his guys to grind at bats. Doesn't really give them an agenda. You got to hit it here. You got to hit the fastball. You got to hit the slider. He said just be a tough out. And they've all done a pretty good job of that. A lot of sink on that fastball from Guerrero. 2-2 now. Bases are loaded. The Rays have scored 4 runs here in the top of the 6th.
Put him away right here.
Missed with the breaking ball. Full count. So everybody be running on this pitch. Wendo from third. Adames from second. Kiermaier from first. He scored from first on Cron's single last night. There they go. Cut on and miss. That'll end the inning. So Guerrero strikes out Powers. Powers strikes out twice in the inning. But Tampa Bay has taken an 8-3 lead. Rogers Blue Jays baseball partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays baseball partnership. The Blue Jays have had their long ball bats out tonight. They've hit 3 home runs, but those are the only 3 runs they've scored, and they trail by 5.
Only 3 hits that they've had this game. 3 runs on 3 hits. Defensive change. Jesus Sucre will take over at catcher after Shufo was pinch hit for.
Top of the order for the Blue Jays. Adam Kolarek in his 2nd inning of relief delivers a strike. It's 1-1. Kolarek came on in the 5th inning, retired the bottom 3rd in order. He struck out Reese McGuire to end the inning. Well, he gets that ball down and in to the lefty hitters. That's a very effective pitch for him.
If it starts in, you got to let it go because it's going to sink off the plate.
Big sweeping breaking ball for the strikeout. 2nd strikeout for Kolarek. Drive of the game brought to you by the 2018 Honda Odyssey with available Honda Vac and always Matt Squeenup.
Well, Lourdes Gurriel hit a home run last night to get the Blue Jays even. Tonight, he's done it ×2. First time up, turns around that fastball. Now he's got that little cutter on the inside part of the plate. He homers again in the 4th inning. He's 2 for 2 with 2 long balls.
There's only been one Blue Jay hitter that has homered in 4 straight at bats. That was Carlos Delgado, September 25th, 2003. Gurriel's the first Blue Jay rookie to homer in 3 straight at bats. We mentioned the last Blue Jay to homer in 3 straight at bats prior or before Gurriel comes to the plate here. Josh Donaldson did it last September 16th and 17th. 0-2. It's the 20th time a Blue Jay hitter has homered in 3 straight at-bats. Delgado's the only one to homer in 4.
It'll be tough to get the ball in the air against Galeric the way he's been throwing it. Sinker down.
How about a base hit? Maybe 2. Gurriel turns around first. He'll stop there. So Gurriel is 3 for 3. Let's check in with Arash Madani.
Well, Buck, what a night for Gurriel. His older brother, Yuli, of course, a member of the Astros, will be coming to Toronto next week. He also has hit 2 home runs tonight. Go figure.
How about that? Big night for the Gurriel family. And they will have a big reunion up here probably on Sunday night when the Astros arrive. Double-barrel action. Hobie Milner, the lefty. Hunter Wood, the righty. And Luis Morales goes after the first pitch and fouls it back. It will be the first time the Gurriel brothers will play against one another.
Thought that was going to happen. When was that? In August? End of July, beginning of August in Houston? Lourdes had hit a home run in Los Angeles against the Angels and then was sent down.
Yeah, he got sent out after that. And then he spent some time on the disabled list, but they will have the opportunity to play against one another for the first time. Blue Jays went to Houston in June 25th, 26th, and 27th.
It was the end of June. Okay.
1-2 on Morales. Gurriel with 3 hits has raised his average 4 points. He's up to 293. The Gurriels will be burning up the phone lines tonight, just talking taters.
Well, I hit mine off of a fastball.
There's a high fly ball to center field. Kiermaier's got room. Not on the warning track. He makes the catch. Gurriel will scamper back to first. Kevin Cash hustling out of the dugout. He'll make a pitching change. He is called for the right-hander, Hunter Wood. So, Galeric, another good outing for Tampa Bay. He'll turn the ball over to the right-hander. Hunter Wood will come on to face Randall Grichuk. Tampa Bay leads at 8-3. Had a strikeout and threw only 17 pitches.
And then they took him out. Thought they might keep him in there, but they're bringing him back in today after those 2 innings. This might just be a one-batter thing because he threw 2 innings yesterday. He's done a good job, though. 362 earned run average. He's never faced Grichuk, or Grichuk has never faced Hunter Wood.
He's got a good fastball. Misses with the first pitch. Grichuk hit a monstrous home run, 464 feet to center field. That was back in the 4th.
That was also off a 3-0 pitch.
Gets under this one. Skies it to center field. Kiermaier still waiting, and it finally comes down, and Grichuk is retired. So Wood gets Grichuk to end the bottom of the 6th. We go to the 7th. Tampa Bay with a 5-run lead. Center tomorrow for the 3rd of the 4-game series. It'll all start at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 12:30 p.m. Pacific Time. That's the pregame show with Jamie Campbell and Joe Siddle. So make sure you check that out. Here are the pitching matchups for the weekend.
Oh boy, this should be a lot of fun. Blue Jays are going to throw out some of their youngsters. Pannone and Baracchi were very good, the lefties, their last time out. Then Tyler Glass now is going to throw tomorrow, and then the capper, Blake Snell. He is in the voting for sure for the Cy Young. He will go Sunday in the finale.
8-3 Blue Jays. Snell has 20 wins and an ERA of 197. That's first in the American League. This is Jesus Sucre getting his first plate appearance. Came in defensively, taking over behind the plate.
Heads up.
Boy, that went right over the head of some photographers down in the camera well. And you can see the first aid attendant up there quickly to watch and take a look at the bat.
Pay attention, Michelle. Are you paying attention? That went right over our friend Michelle Prada, the Blue Jays photographer. She's okay. You're all right, Michelle.
Things happen quickly down there. Everybody's okay, and that's good. Sucre says, my bad.
He's got a different bat. He's like,
yeah,
there's no hits in that bat.
Oh, 2. He strikes him out with a curveball. One away here in the 7th. Guerreri, 25 years old. We mentioned he was a first-round pick of the Rays in 2011. He was drafted out of high school in South Carolina. been a starter his whole career throughout the minor leagues. This year he made 7 starts in AAA Buffalo. He had kind of a rough season, just coming back from the elbow issues. Been basically 2 seasons where he's dealt with it.
Blue Jays picked him up for some depth, and hopefully they find something. You mentioned he's just 25 years old. Getting younger.
Blue Jays claimed him on waivers November 6th, last offseason, 2017. Look out. That hit Mallex Smith. He's been dinged up a little bit. Remember, he ran into the wall in right field and had some sort of injury to his legs. Now he gets hit in the back of the leg.
Can't remember if that was his left leg or his right leg in the outfield. This one is a fastball that just gets away from Taylor. Ooh, right in the calf.
Yeah, man, that has a chance to kind of really knot up on you. Get hit in that big part of your leg, and he says, I'm okay. Kevin Cash was headed out to check on him. It was his right leg down in the outfield as well that he banged up against that fence, making that catch. It was in the 5th inning.
That's his best asset, I think, as a baseball player. His speed. He won't have his legs taken away from him. But he is on base for the 3rd time tonight.
1 away. He's got a big lead at first. Makes me laugh because I'm thinking about Mallex Smith getting hit, and then he was about ready to steal a base. We were talking about Showalter, and he called that a crybaby deke.
The crybaby decoy. Yeah. You act like you're injured.
Act like you're injured and steal a base. Not running here. Duffy takes the strike. Matt Duffy picked up his first hit of the game last time up in the 6th inning. Got a base hit off Mark Leiter Jr. As Leiter Jr. just came into the ball game. Duffy would come in to score the 7th Rays run. They now have an 8-3 lead. He went after it. 1-2 now.
He looks like he wants to run. He takes a very aggressive lead over there at first base.
Still not running. He took a step towards second, but he had no intentions of stealing. Sometimes you do that just in an effort to get the infielders to move.
And then that batter will take a look to see who was covering. And if he does happen to go, he's got an idea where he might want to try and hit it. He's got a hole to shoot for on the right side, and he's got a lot of hits the other way this season.
Not running here. Duffy fouls it off the catcher. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes on the 3rd baseman for Tampa Bay.
Here he gets a lot of movement on that fastball. That should work to his advantage to get a ground ball. He could use one right here, and it's going to be tough for Matt Duffy. That's his spray chart, where he hits the ball. So the Blue Jays have to play him straight up everywhere. He has had 52 hits go the opposite field. 62 to center, 33 to left field. He's only pulled 33 balls to the left field for hits this season.
That's why the left fielder is shaded in the alley in left center. Mallex Smith thinking about running that time.
It's close.
Was a little bit late getting back.
Told you he's way out there and deliberately got back. Watch him as Guerreri's snap throw. That was close.
See, his body was moving in that direction toward the second. He has 35 steals. Another throw to first. The Rays had 4 stolen bases in the game last night. Austin Meadows has a stolen base tonight. Not running. Just off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Way outside, snap throw to first. Tellez got in front of the low throw and blocked it. So now it's a full count with 1 out. Chances are Smith will be moving on this next pitch.
Real good chance. Ball in the dirt. McGuire snaps it over there.
There goes the runner. Ball is a ball. It's ball 4, so the throw is a moot point, as it will be ball 4 to Duffy.
Super Slow-Mo Cam. Brought to you by Samsung Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. The camera reimagined. Available now.
Two more base runners as Austin Meadows will step in for a second time. He drove in 2 runs with a pinch hit single to right back in the 6th. Came off the bench, second pinch hitter they used in the 6th inning. They sent 10 men to the plate. They scored 4 runs in the 6th inning, and they're threatening again here in the 7th. Danny Barnes loosening up for the Blue Jays.
Taylor Guerrero said last inning worked a week ago, 7 days ago in that series in New York. He's a little rusty right now. He's thrown 34 pitches, 17 balls, 17 strikes.
He recorded 2 outs. 2-0 on Meadows. Austin Pruitt, the righty, appears to be ready to come into this game. He has stopped throwing, just standing by. Ground ball, base hit through the left side. Smith's going to score. Duffy's going to third. Austin Meadows, coming off the bench, has driven in 3.
He can rake. He can really hit. Former first-round draft pick. They got him from the Pirates. He's going to be a staple for this team for a long time.
Well, once again, John Gibbons has to go to the bullpen. Taylor Guerrero can get just 2 outs. He's thrown 36 pitches in this game. Tampa Bay has scored another run. They've taken a 9-3 lead. Danny Barnes will come out of the bullpen.
Organization having a good night An evening after, Tampa melted down, giving up that 8-2 ninth inning lead, and it was Kevin Cash was questioned today about the move to remove Kevin Kiermaier and put Meadows in, because the thought was perhaps Kiermaier would have been able to handle that ball a little better. Smith ends up getting the third. Blue Jays come back to win. Cash's rationale with it was, look, we have a bunch of guys in the bullpen who can navigate an 8-2 lead, and we wanted to get Austin an at-bat. Well, he's gotten a couple tonight, Buck, and he has delivered for Kevin Cash.
Yeah, man, it was a tough situation because there were a couple balls that Kiermaier would have made plays on, and they got a chance to get Meadows an at-bat. Tonight he's had 2 at-bats. He has 2 hits and 3 RBIs. Danny Barnes comes into the game.
First time that we have seen him in this series. He's pitched 1 time in the Boston series, once in the New York series, and once in that Baltimore series. This is his first work in this series.
Tommy Pham has done some heavy lifting in this series. Tonight he has an RBI triple and a sacrifice fly. He's also walked twice. He scored 2 runs. He has had a good start to this series. He's got 19 home runs for the season. Overall, he's batting .272.
He's got 5 triples now. All of them since he got traded to Tampa.
Now, all in the American League. He didn't have a triple in 98 games for the Cardinals. But he's come over here and he has really gotten off to a great start. That ball gets away from Tellez, and Duffy's in to score. Meadows goes to second. That'll be the second error charge to the Blue Jays. Tellez was charged with an error in the first inning.
Might be a throwing error on Danny. That one scores a run.
Danny Barnes with a snap throw to first. The ball is in the dirt. No chance for Tellez to make a play. Duffy jogs in with the 10th run for Tampa Bay. Meadows now at second. Been a tough night for Blue Jays pitchers. They have walked 8 in this ball game. He's also given up 11 hits. This is a mile-high pop-up. Tellez, the first baseman, into foul territory. Makes the catch. Pham is retired. It's a breezy night here at Rogers Center. Ball been blown around a bit. A little bit of everything has gone wrong for the Blue Jays tonight. They've scored 3 runs on 4 hits. They've committed 2 errors. And the pitchers have walked 8. Been a couple of wild pitches and a stolen base.
Tampa Bay has left a runner on in every inning. Every inning so far. 9 total in 6 innings.
They've had 16 at bats with runners in scoring position. They're 6 for 16. Joey Wendell, the second baseman, takes a strike. It's 1-1. Wendell is 0 for 3. He was given an intentional walk in the 6th his last time up.
He's the guy.
Guerrero out of the game.
He's been doing all the damage against the Blue Jays this year. They've shut him down tonight.
Changeup misses away. 2 balls and a strike to Wendell. Wendell and Kiermaier are the only starters in this game for Tampa Bay that haven't had a hit. Outside, 3-1. Fly ball deep left center field. Grichuk looking up. This ball is off the wall. Meadows is in to score. Wendell is now in the hit column as he has an RBI double. His 30th double of the season drives in Austin Meadows. It's now 11-3.
What a pretty looking swing for a rookie. He'll get some votes. But you got to figure Shohei Ohtani or possibly Miguel Andujar, Gleyber Torres, but this guy's right there with him. What a year he has had. They picked him up from Oakland the same day the Yankees picked up Giancarlo Stanton. So that went under the radar. He's had a great year.
Yeah, he's hitting .302 now with that double. Willie Adames is 1 for 3. So that'll close the book on Taylor Guerreri. He is charged with 3 runs, 2/3 of an inning. Guerreri struck out Bowers to end the 6th inning, but then ran into trouble in the 7th.
This inning started like last inning with the strikeouts. Sucre started this inning by striking out, then hit batter, walked, single, pop out, double. They put together some good at bats, keep that line moving.
Willie Adames with a 2-0 count. High pop up. Tellez over into foul territory. He stays with it and makes the catch. That'll end the inning. But Tampa Bay gets 3 more in the top of the 7th. They're taking an 11-3 lead over the Jays. Bottom of the 7th. New pitcher is Austin Pruitt, just called up from AAA here in September, making his 21st appearance of the season.
Yeah, just called up yesterday, his 5th stint with the Rays. He pitched in 14 games, including 4 starts down in AAA. He was undefeated, 3-0 with a .295 earned run average. Last pitch to the major leagues August the 3rd versus the White Sox. One other change for the Tampa Bay Rays. Andrew Velasquez will take over in right field for Malik Smith.
Smith out of the game. He got hit by a pitch his last at bat. This is Rowdy Tellez. Takes the first pitch strike from Pruitt. Andrew Wood got Grichuk to end the 6th. He faced just one man. High breaking ball. Fly ball right field. Velasquez is there. He makes the catch. One away.
Notice the outfielders are a little bit deeper now. I think they've picked up that the ball is really carrying. It's very windy tonight, and they're playing a little bit deeper. Look at Velasquez just into the game in right field, how deep he is out there.
He's got his little cheat sheet out, checking out where he should be playing. He's an infielder that has played in the outfield.
I wish I had one of those when I was playing. I don't know if it would have made me a better defender. I would have been lost out there half the time.
And that's something that's really changed because there's so much information available. And now you see it all the time. Veterans, we've seen Brett Gardner use that. We've seen a lot of guys use that defensive alignment sheet.
Back in the day, you went over that. The first game of every series, you went over the opposition, every hitter, every pitcher in those meetings. Couldn't remember it. 4-game series the last day, I wouldn't remember playing.
So much information. Charlie Montoya's got all the matchups, pitcher matchups, different colors on the sheet: red, yellow, green.
Did they, Buck, have computers when you and I played?
No.
To make those little cards?
No.
I don't think they did.
I can remember Whitey Herzog on our plane. He was the manager in Kansas City, and he had a scorebook. It was basically a sketch pad. It was just a flat sketch pad. There's a bouncing ball backhanded by Duffy at third. Long throw. Just in time. But Whitey Herzog had this sketch pad, and he had all of our pitchers. Each had a sheet. And after every game, he would sit there and line out each pitcher against each batter. And he would just have every batter in the league, and all of our pitchers had a different colored pencil. So he had the batter, and he would mark down what pitch it was, where it went. He had dotted lines for foul balls.
For that game.
Yeah.
For that game.
And he did it all year. I mean, he was the first guy that I ever saw put a spray chart together, and that was 75, 76.
We had pitchers would do that. I remember I watched them chart games. Remember when pitchers used to chart games? The next day's pitcher, and they would come in with like a big bag of pencils, different colored pencils. And like you said, the broken line was the ground ball, the straight line was the fly ball. They'd talk about counts and what pitches they would hit in certain counts, and that was their cheat sheet.
Whitey Herzog grew up as a farm director, so he had a phenomenal memory. He remembered players and at bats and situations, and he would always bring things up. Hey, don't you remember how you pitched him in April? No. It's September.
And he would remember.
Yeah, he'd remember. He was terrific. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. And there is Solarte with a 2-1 count, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Line drive left field. Tommy Pham moving over, makes the catch. Quick inning. Austin Pruitt retires the side in order and makes that young lady a happy fan. She gets a baseball.
presented by Honda, and tomorrow, as part of it, the first 20,000 fans will receive a pair of Blue Jays convertible mittens. It's a 4 o'clock start tomorrow. BlueJays.com for tickets. Thomas Pannone gets the ball for the Blue Jays, guys.
Thomas Pannone will start tomorrow. Ryan Barucki will start Sunday. They final weekend of the 2018 season. Danny Barnes gets ahead of Kevin Kiermaier with the first pitch. Kiermaier is 0 for 3. Richard Arrangey takes over defensively at third base for Yonir Solarte. Jonathan Davis is in center. Randall Grichuk is out of the game. And in right field, it's Anthony Alford taking over for Billy McKinney. They are straight up in the batting order if you're keeping score.
Kevin Kiermaier came into this game raking in this ballpark, but he's the only Ray starter without a hit tonight. He was robbed of a hit by Kevin Kiermaier, or excuse me, by Rowdy Tellez. Remember that play that was overturned at first base?
Kiermaier strikes out. He's still 0 for tonight. Let's go back to the end of the 7th inning, and that ball was thrown up into the stands. Tommy Pham trying to find a young fan, and there's a dad with a little girl. Dad's got the baseball. Little girl says, "Give me that, Dad. Give me that." And he says, "No, I know what you're going to do with it. Give me that, Dad." "No, come on, Dad. They're playing out there. I want to play."
Hold on.
"Come on, Dad. Be a sport." "You're no fun, Dad. I just want to play. They're throwing it around out there. Hey, don't give my ball away." That's awesome. One away. Jake Bowers is 1 for 3. He has scored a run. And the last 2 times up, he has struck out. In fact, he struck out twice in the 6th inning. John Gibbons and Kendrys Morales having a chat. This time of the year, managers will look at the stat sheet as Bowers is called out. He strikes out for a 3rd time. But managers will look at the stat sheet, especially of veteran players, see if there's any milestones within reach. Russ Martin hasn't played for a while. Kendrys Morales has been playing sporadically with Rowdy Tellez coming up and Smoke DHing from time to time. But the managers will go to the veterans this time of the year, getting down single-digit games left, and say, "Hey, you got any goals you want to meet? Got any milestones that are out there for you? We'll make sure you get a chance to achieve those."
And if he says no, and he says, "I'm thinking about maybe getting this guy in at bat," you have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Out of respect.
Yeah, out of respect for what they've done. Says popped up behind home. McGuire will look at. I remember the final day of one of the seasons, 78, 79. I'm playing in Minnesota. The manager is George Bamberger, and I made 2 outs. And I started the game batting .272, and now I was down to .270. Bamberger said, "You ever hit .270 before?" I said, "George, I never hit .240 before." He said, "What are you doing in the game?" I said, "You're managing."
And he took you out.
He
I'm
took
sure.
me out on the spot.
Oh, that's too bad. I remember I got 3 hits against Langston at the beginning of September, and the manager came up to me the next day and said, "Okay, you've had a great season. That's it. We're going to play the other kids."
Really?
I said, "What? You go play the other kids?" I said, "There's a whole month to go." "Well, you've had a good year."
You didn't play after that?
I didn't start that much after that.
Wow.
September baseball, we love it.
Ground ball past Gurriel into left field. Sucre gets his first hit.
This 4K broadcast is brought to you by the Samsung QLED TV. See nothing else.
Top of the 8th inning here at Rogers Center. Game 2 of this 4-game series. The final 4-game series of the season. The Astros will be in town Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday afternoon. That'll be the final series of the season. This is Andrew Velasquez. Velasquez playing in right field. This is his first plate appearance. Malik Smith got hit by a pitch in the 7th, and he had banged up his leg crashing into the fence in right, and he was taken out. Velasquez came in defensively in right field.
Spent most of the year down in AAA. 14 home runs, 45 RBIs, 125 games between AA and AAA. Switch hitter. Very useful player because he's athletic and can play all over the place. Can play on the infield. Right now is in the outfield.
Three and one now to Velasquez. Chapera starting to loosen up. It's been a while since he's had a chance to pitch. Foul tip. Korean cheap. Sucre. The runner at first base. He'll be moving on the pitch. Matt Duffy will bat if Velasquez can reach base. There goes the runner. In the air over the Blue Jays dugout, out of play. Gray will head back to first base. 11 runs on 13 hits for Tampa Bay. 3 runs on 4 hits for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays just haven't had much going offensively all night long.
They didn't last night either, till the 9th inning.
Had 5 hits going into the 9th inning. They got 6 hits in the 9th. Strike 3 call. So Danny Barnes strikes out 3 in the top of the 8th. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. 11-3. Tampa Bay. Time now for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell. Season. Last year, they had 80 wins all season long. They were 2 games under 500 so far. They've won 85 games, and what a dramatic turnaround. And I don't know about you, but I didn't see this coming.
No, not with the injuries that they had in spring training, and not with all the players that they lost. Steven Souza, Lobo, Longo, Evan Longoria, and Corey Dickerson. But he said in spring training, Kevin Cash said, we're not as bad as you think. We're going to play a lot of one-run games, and they've played the 2nd most one-run games in all of baseball, and they're right there. They've been there since the 2nd half of the season. And who knows their team better than the manager?
He certainly does, and he is the youngest manager in baseball. He's done a nice job. Former Blue Jay. Had a chance to have Kevin Cash in spring training when I was managing.
Did you see manager written all over him when he was a player?
not at that time, you know, and he started to bounce around. He got a chance to be a backup player. He's got 2 World Series rings. And then, of course, he worked for the Cleveland Indians in the bullpen, worked with Terry Francona.
He worked for the Blue Jays. He was an advanced scout for the Blue Jays after he retired.
High pop-up into shallow left field. 3 defenders as Adames, the shortstop, takes charge and makes the catch. Yeah, Kevin Cash, after his playing days, he certainly wanted to stay in the game. And boy, he's turned out to be one of the bright young managers in all of baseball.
Probably, you know, he was talking today that loss last night absolutely was a punch to the gut. Probably didn't get much sleep last night. You roll through your mind everything that happened in that game. You know, what could I have done differently to help my team?
Oh, absolutely.
Awful.
Yep, you go back and you say, man, what should I have done differently? Maybe kept Kiermaier in the game. Maybe not brought in Schultz that long. Gonna have it a little quicker. But you know what? You made a great point about Sergio Romo, the closer. He was sitting down there with a 6-run lead. He thought, you know, I'm not going to get in this game. Reese McGuire rips one into right field. His first hit of the night, only the 5th hit for the Blue Jays.
The 2018 Civic Type R, like no Honda you've ever seen.
So Anthony Alford will get his first plate appearance of the night. He came in defensively, top half of this inning. Alford had a pinch hit at bat in the 8th inning and struck out last night. That was against Hunter Wood. Alford's an intriguing player. Athletically, can do a lot of things on the field, just getting his feet on the ground as far as a professional baseball player.
All he has to do is just go play. Wherever you are, just go play. I don't care what time of the year it is, just go play. I used to call, when I was with the Yankees, the farm director and say, can you please send me to instructional league? I felt like I was cheating myself when the season was over, when I was a young player, that I was cheating myself that I wasn't playing baseball and trying to get better at my job. They said, sure, we'll send you to instructional league. Went there a few years when I was young.
Yep.
And then after you got a little bit older, you started calling around to go play winter ball.
Sure.
They didn't have the Arizona Fall League back in the day, but you could go play winter ball, and if you were good enough, you could play year-round if you wanted to.
Winter leagues, when you and I were playing, were very, very good competitive leagues. Alfred fouls this one out of play. Not the same anymore.
Such an advantage if you can play year-round. If you come from a warm climate country or state or wherever, and you have the ability to, if there's baseball there, to play year-round, that's how you get better, by practicing. Baseball is a game of repetition.
Anthony signed with the Blue Jays in 2012, but at the time, coming out of high school, he was going to college to play football. And he played 5 games in 2012, 6 games in 13. He played a total of 14 games in 2014. He was a football player, so he'd come and play some games in the summer, but never really had a lot of great reps. This is up the middle. Wendell knocks it down, flips to Adames in time for the force out at second. 2 away now. So Alfred's aboard on the fielder's choice. Lourdes Gurriel has homered tonight twice, both in his first 2 at-bats. He is 3 for 3 on the night. His brother Yuli has also homered twice tonight. It's the first time a pair of brothers have each had a multi-home run game on the same day. First time ever. Alfred at first base, and Gurriel goes after the first pitch. Only 3 other sets of brothers have ever combined for 4 or more home runs on the same day. Joe DiMaggio and Irish Musiel, and their brothers, and Dom DiMaggio, with Joe DiMaggio, Bob Musial with Irish Musial, and then Cal Ripken and Billy Ripken. Cal Ripken had a 3-homer day, and Billy had a home run.
Solo.
So it's the 4th time it has happened that there have been brothers who have combined hit 4 or more home runs on the same day, but they're the first pair of brothers to have multi-home run games on the same day. 0-2. Popped it up over near the dugout, and that'll be on the roof, out of play. Gurriel is 3 for 3. His batting average now at .293. The last Blue Jay to hit 3 home runs in a game is his fellow Cuban, Kendrys Morales, last August 31st in Baltimore.
Hey, he's got a great chance. His swing, he is locked in right now.
Off the glove, and Alfred will move up.
Here's what makes it so difficult, I think, right now to hit at the major league level or in September. It is home run off of Castillo in the 1st inning. He had a 2nd home run against Beeks. That was in the 4th inning. He got his 3rd hit against Kolarek. And now he's facing yet another pitcher, Pruitt. Not a lot of at-bats for Lourdes against some of these Tampa Bay relievers. Especially Pruitt has just been called back up.
Ground ball. Adames, the shortstop, gathers and fires, and just in time he gets Gurriel. So Gurriel will finish up the game 3 for 4 with a pair of home runs. We'll go to the 9th. It's all Tampa Bay. The Pirates have a 3-1 lead over the Milwaukee Brewers in the top of the 5th, so it doesn't sound like it's an official game just yet. Jake Petrichka will start the top of the 9th.
Jake pitched in last night's game, and he only faced 2 batters. Gave him a single and a walk, and he was out. He becomes the 5th reliever tonight to pitch for the Blue Jays.
Matt Duffy goes after the first pitch. Duffy has a single tonight. He has scored a pair of runs. Changeup missed away.
New York, the Yankees are putting it on Baltimore tonight. Try to strengthen their hold on the wild card. If that stands, that would be their 94th victory of the season.
Oakland and Minnesota just getting underway out in Oakland. There's the two teams, New York and the Oakland A's, have the two wild card spots. The only thing yet to be determined will be where they're going to play that game.
Where, that's right, where they're going to play that game. So the Yankees feeling the pressure. You know, the only thing you can take care of is what you can take care of. You can't worry about other teams and hope that the other teams lose or all that kind of stuff. You just take care of what you can do. And if you win, doesn't matter what anybody else is doing.
No. You've got the fate in your own hand. You just play your game and win your game. Ground ball right to the shortstop, Gurriel. Duffy's retired, one away.
Hurry into Home Hardware's kitchen event, on now until October 9th. Here's how.
Friday night here at Rogers Center, 21,167 in attendance. How about Austin Meadows? He didn't even start the game. He's 2 for 2 with 3 ribbies. Came into the game as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning, had a 2-run single. And then he had an RBI single. He scored a pair of runs. Played a half a game and having a heck of a night. Boy, he can swing it. There's another hit for Meadows. That's going to go up against the fence. He is headed for second, and he'll get there with a stand-up double. What a nice swing.
Yeah, he turned 23 this year, former first-round draft pick of the Pirates in 2013 out of high school in Georgia. He's listed at 6'3", 200 pounds. So there's some power possibly to come. Change up, he waits back. Look how short that swing is. Not a lot of movement in that upper body. Just the hands pull through. Extra base hit.
The Rays were talking about Meadows as they had a conversation with Joe Madden about Austin Meadows when he was playing with the Pirates. Madden said he was swinging the bat so well I walked him intentionally as a rookie. And that's what kind of start he got off to. It's a little surprising they kept him down in the minors, but they're not going to keep a good man down.
No. They brought him up here. They just brought him up here because their AAA team finished off their playoffs yesterday. Or excuse me, the day before. So they just brought him up yesterday. And Kevin Cash has said, you know, I owe it to the guys who've been here and been in the organization, who have brought us here to this point. I will try to find him some at-bats and some starts. After tonight, they might think about playing him a little bit more.
Broken bat, base hit into center. They'll stop Meadows at third base. Tommy Pham, he had that bat sawed off, but he is so strong he's able to drive it into center field for a base hit, his second hit of the game.
All right, all that was left is the handle. Patrichka with that dive-bombing fastball in on his hands. Look what's left in Pham's hand.
Well, that's a strong man that can drive it into center with a broken bat. Joey Wendell takes the first pitch strike. Pham has 5 hits in 2 games in this series. Tampa Bay now with 15 hits. They hit him. Breaking ball hit him on the knee. It has been a rough night for Blue Jays pitchers. Patrichka is the 5th reliever to work here. This is just a slider that breaks and hits Wendell on the left leg. So Pham goes to second. The bases are loaded. Willie Adames, the shortstop. 1 for 4, had an RBI single in the 6th inning. Tampa Bay in line for their 86th win of the season. Bouncing ball to short. Gurriel to Travis for one. Back to first. Double play. Nice double play. It's Petrichka out of the top half of the ninth. Bases loaded. Double play ends the inning. Morales and Davis and Rowdy Tellez. The bat against Austin Pruitt.
Presented by Honda at the Model Clearout event. The real victory lap is the drive home.
Bottom of the ninth inning, and Tampa Bay has really had the bats going. They've stranded a base runner in each inning. They've left 13 base runners on base tonight. The Blue Jays pitchers have really helped them out. Blue Jays pitchers have walked 8 tonight.
Left a runner on base every inning. Danny Jansen will get a swing tonight. I guess that's what John Gibbons was talking to Kendrys Morales about a couple of innings ago.
Danny Jansen hit the 3-run home run in the ninth inning last night. Six players hit in the ninth inning that had started the season in AAA Buffalo. And they put together a 7-run inning. Tomorrow's pitching matchup, Tyler Glasnow will go to the mound for Tampa Bay. Thomas Pannone for the Blue Jays. Breaking ball hit on the ground. Adames, the shortstop, got a strong arm. One away.
He's a nice looking player. The way he took that tricky little hop there at the end, fielded it off to the side. You're faster with one hand. He didn't get in front of that ball because it took a tricky hop, fielded it cleanly and got the out. You can see him talking about that last bounce. Watch how he fields it off to the side because he's quick and he records the out over at first base.
Jonathan Davis had that sliding mitt in his hand, and the umpire made him take it out of his pocket. He had it in his back pocket. Said, no, you have to take that out just in case there's a errant pitch that might hit that.
Here is one of those players who had a great at bat in the ninth inning last night. 10-pitch at bat that ended up being a hit batter. Kept that inning alive.
Swinging a drive to left field, and Tommy Pham, boy, you could see him battling the lights. He got his hand up quickly trying to shade his eyes from those lights, and he stayed with it and made a nice catch. He was scuffling.
Yeah, it's two really nice plays here to open the ninth inning. A line drive. He is new to this ballpark, and he has to deal with those lights. You just hope that it comes out in time for you to see it. Yeah, shaking his head going, I didn't see it.
So Rowdy Tellez down to the last out. Tellez goes after the first pitch and hits it into right field. 6 hits now for the Blue Jays. A 2-out single for Tellez. Tellez has gotten off to a good start with the bat, no question about that. This is his 15th game. That was his 16th hit.
I like how aggressive he is at the plates. First pitch swinging. Get one close, let it go.
Teoscar Hernandez is 0 for 2. He goes after the first pitch and singles into center. Tellez will stop at second. So Richard Urania will come to the plate. Kevin Cash still has an 8-run lead. Urania batting for the first time. And Evis Solarte started at third base, went 0 for 3. Two outs. Late cutter from Pruitt.
Yeah, his best pitch is a curveball. When you get to 2 strikes, he might drop that thing on you. Bounce between relieving and starting. Trying to finish this one off tonight for the Rays.
One. Fly ball to center field. Kiermaier racing back. This ball is caught by Kevin Kiermaier. Urania gave it a ride, but that ends the ball game. Blue Jays get a couple of 2-out hits in the 9th. And Kevin Kiermaier not on the bench tonight in the 9th inning.
Yeah, can't put him on the bench. He's Gold Glove outfielder. He checks that fence one more time, reaches up, hauls it in to end this one as the Rays come back to win this one 11-3.
They've evened the series a game apiece. 11 runs on 15 hits for the Rays. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Thanks for watching, folks. Stay tuned. Here's Blue Jay Censor with Jamie and Joe.